Book 6. The Missouri Kid. This is the Emperor. Ooh, it gets cold. The Emperor has an atomic rattle. Mr. and Mrs. Mulligan go and visit their family at Gamble Island. And they're taking the secret on how to make square watermelons. And they sailed and they sailed and they sailed until land shore. And they saw a native playing in the edge of the waters. And there in Gamble Island, they waved at Mr. and Mrs. Mulligan. Where square watermelons, the secret was to take to the marketplace from the shores. Mr. Buck Mulligan and Mrs. Dear Mulligan went to visit a Peruvian island where their family Millie, Wakili, and Simi Catanzoniture on Gamble Island, that they had money by the sea, and they ate square watermelons through the secret recipe of making square watermelons for 3 meals after roast beef, which is really liver and onions, but it was really cheap. The villain of that island were sea squalls, and they came with thunder and mighty lightning fast across the shore. In the watchtower was the looker of seas and oceans and mountains and waterfalls. Once a month, the watcher visited the city in the square. His thoughts of Mars and the Mars rover to be the first American to plant his flags first. And to bring back the picture of the Mona Lisa. No, it's not Michelle. It's the Land Rover. The plans for a new computer arose. Time pressed on, and thoughts of Caramel, important call from the West concerning the East, and the must of money for future Gerber products of Eastern concern. Mr. Mulligan had to win, and there at the gambling table on Gambling Island, one table, but you had to guess the numbers in order: 1, 6, 5, 2, 4. And picking the number in order, you would win everything. Mr. Dear Mulligan won all the shells and a starfish. Those were the treasures of the islands. After islands and watchers and products and sales final through customs and the BBB and the FDA for future LOLs, Mr. Buck Mulligan and oh dear Mrs. Mulligan had their journey home with a suitcase filled with winnings. The end. Book 6, Missouri Kid, Cohort Combat Engineers of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Illustrations, book written and illustrated by Casades Art.